Welcome to Little Story Station, and this is your host Gomati Narayanan. At Little Story Station, we are looking at 9 days of Navratri, and every single day we are looking at the different forms of Goddess Durga and learning more about how that form came into being and how Navratri is celebrated all across the country. If you have not looked at the other episodes, I leave a link here and take a look at that and come back to this episode so you will understand the previous forms of Goddess Durga. Today is day 3 and we are going to be looking at the goddess's form called as Chandraghanta. And for those of you who have not checked the other episodes, I am reading Nava Durga written by Nalini Ramachandran. Let's read more about Chandraghanta. Chandraghanta, Day 3, Dear to all. Meditation helped Parvati stay calm always. But on the day of her wedding with Shiva, she got really angry. And to show how furious she was, she rang a deadly bell that she wore on her forehead. It is this bell, which looks like the crescent moon, that gives this form of the goddesses her name Chandraghanta. Chandra means moon, Ghanta means bell. On the 3rd day of Navratri, people worship this form of the goddess. But what made the goddess see red? So much so that she had to ring the bell and spread dread? The fearsome bride. Shall we read on? It was the day of Shiva and Parvati's wedding. The Apsaras were dancing and the Gandharvas were singing. Sage Narada was happy and so were the Devatas. Things were going well. To welcome the groom and his wedding party, King Himawat and Queen Mena, Parvati's parents, waited at the entrance of their palace. It was a dark evening, and yet, in the distance, Mena could see the silhouette of Shiva arriving with his followers. A strange glow surrounded the group. As they came closer, the queen was shocked. Shocked for what? Her hands, which held a plate full of flowers, trembled. Is that him? Her voice quivered. Himawat too was taken aback by the way in which the future husband of their beloved daughter was dressed. Shiva was smeared ashes all over her body. His messy hair was tied into a high half-top knot. He only wore a tiger skin skirt and he even had a snake around his neck. What's worse, Shiva's group also included some ghosts, spirits and ghouls. Well, they were all his worshippers, so they came for his wedding. But to Parvati's parents, it was a scary sight. And so, terrified at seeing Shiva and his unusual set of followers, Mena fell unconscious. Oh. Ma, Parvati rushed out, hearing the commotion. Oh no, I think she got scared seeing Shiva dressed like that, and his group too, Himawat told Parvati as he tried to wake his wife. When she saw how Shiva had arrived at his own wedding, Parvati was enraged. Down! She called out loudly, and out of the darkest corner of the palace, her Vahana, a huge tiger, sprang like lightning, letting out a chilling roar. Parvati then magically changed herself to match Shiva's look. with 10 hands, a third eye, and a crescent moon-shaped bell on her forehead, she rode towards the group on the back of Dawn. She was now Chandraghanta. The goddess looked like she was ready for a war. Dong, dong, dong. Hey! What's the ear-piercing sound? One of Shiva's followers cried, clapping his hands over his eyes tightly. See how you do this? Hey! That's what he did. That bell on the goddess's forehead, its pounding sound itself can take the lives of asuras, another said, struggling to shut out the bell's boom. As Chandraghanta neared them, Dhammo roared again. Roar! Shiva and his followers fell back. If you can look fearsome, so can I, Chandraghanta thundered, glaring at Shiva. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare your mother. But this is who I am, Shiva tried to reason. I know that, but can't you wear a calmer look and dress properly just for today? It's our wedding after all, remember? Shiva agreed and turned himself to look like a well-dressed bridegroom. He changed his followers' appearances and attires too. Is this good? Oh, it's the best, Chandraghanta smiled, returning to her form as Parvati, the bride. We can get married now. And that is how the wedding of Shiva and Parvati took place after much drama. That's interesting, right? Going from Shailaputri to Brahmacharini to now getting married, she transformed as Chandraghanta, and Chandraghanta, just to make Shiva realize that he could dress more pleasantly for the wedding. So she had to, really do her part, bring out all the fearsome inside her, so that, Shiva understood that, he had to dress a little more pleasantly. Reading on, people offer jasmine. Chandraghanta's favorite flower is jasmine, and sweets to her image or idol on the third day of the festival. Because she is a bride goddess, it is believed that she always blessed female worshippers. And there's a story about that. Bounty of blessings. After their wedding, Shiva and Parvati went on a tour around Prithvi Lok with sage Narada, because of whom they had met in this life. During this journey, they stopped at a village for some rest. On hearing that Parvati had come, the women of that village rushed to meet her. Some women brought haldi, the turmeric powder, kumkum, the vermilion powder, and rice grains to welcome their dear goddess. Parvati was very pleased to see this, and since she was carrying some sacred water with her, she sprinkled all the glowing liquid over their heads and blessed them with a happy life. But soon after they left, another group of women came with delicious foods for the divine couple and the sage. You need more sacred water to bless, but you've already spent it all, I guess. Shiva teased her, knowing well that Parvati had run out of the sacred water. With Parvati, nothing is ever less. There are still more powers that I possess, she replied, mimicking his tone. Without waiting another second, she pricked one of her fingers. Wow! A drop of glowing liquid appeared, which Parvati sprinkled over these women. I thought you knew. The sacred water flows through my veins too, she said to the amused Shiva and Narada. And in this way, Parvati had blessed all her female worshippers. And so that is the story of how Chandraghanta is blessing us all with power and peace and happiness all throughout the year, not just during Navratri. In the form of Chandraghanta, I live inside you as generosity. Sharing good things with others will win you new friends. Wow! Chandraghanta is urging us to be more generous and be loving of all and be a giver. Isn't that what Chandraghanta herself did by giving a lot of sacred powers and sacred water by even cutting her own fingers? Generosity. That is a good virtue to have, don't you think? Now moving on to see how Navratri is celebrated in Rajasthan. This tale is related to Gauri festival of Rajasthan, which is celebrated for 18 days. It begins on the third day of Chaitra Navaratri, the day that honors Chandraghanta. The people of Rajasthan celebrate the wedding of Shiva and Parvati through the Gauri festival. Gana is another name for Shiva and Gauri is another name for Parvati. Gauri comes from these two names. To celebrate Gauri, women make and worship clay idols of Shiva and Parvati and dress these to look like the bride and a groom. On the festival's last day, the women carry the idols on their heads and walk towards a river or a lake. This is to show Parvati's journey from her parents' palace to Shiva's home. Praying for a happy life, the women then immerse the clay idols in water, knowing that Parvati will surely bless all of them. That is the story of Chandraghanta. I hope you liked today's episode. If you did, like, share, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you have not done so already. Auntie will see you again tomorrow with another form of Goddess Durga. But today I want you to tap the generosity side of you. From within, we are all generous people, right? We easily share, we easily give things away for people. And that is a very divine and important virtue to develop and have. Have you seen when you are generous, people automatically become your friends? So the more friends you have, the more happier you become, right? Alright, with that note, take care and read a lot of books today. I will see you again tomorrow with the fourth form of Goddess Durga. Until I see you tomorrow, bye.